A guy named Teddy was late, as usual. He kissed a random woman at the party as he mistook her for his girlfriend because of the identical dresses. Since Leanne had been eating nuts up to that point, and Teddy was terribly allergic to them, he felt bad. While Leanne ran to get help, Teddy was found by his girlfriend, Becca. Teddy injected himself with the allergy shot, and he was relieved. It was under these ridiculous circumstances that they met Leanne. Now Teddy and Leanne are engaged. However, the guy procrastinated for a long time before he called his beloved to marry, so his father did not live to see this moment. He had passed away the day before, and Teddy was very sorry about that. A certain woman who happened to overhear their conversation spoke to the guy. She advised Teddy to stop putting things off all the time. The stranger also asked him to imagine what if he woke up one day and realized that he had lived a whole year in a few minutes. Teddy was puzzled when the woman said she wanted to give them a wedding present. Leanne returned, and the stranger lied that Teddy had said he wanted to have the wedding in 2 weeks. Now Teddy had no choice. Soon there was the wedding. Sam, Teddy's best friend, made a toast. He was happy for Teddy, who despite his indecision, dared to take such a responsible step as marriage. The newlyweds move into their new home, where they will now live together. Leanne has the ring on her finger that Teddy's father once made for his wife himself. When Teddy began to look at the wedding presents, in one of the boxes he saw a strange tin can. The addressee was not listed. There was only a note that said to open it in 10 years. Teddy was about to indulge in passion with his wife when suddenly he felt something strange. The next moment he discovered that it was already morning. Teddy was even more shocked when he realized that the house had been renovated. He doesn't understand what's going on. Leanne reminded him that today is their wedding anniversary. Suddenly Teddy noticed that yesterday's plant had grown literally overnight. Leanne came out of the shower. Seeing her big belly, Teddy thought the wife was kidding him. Almost immediately, however, Teddy was convinced that her belly was real. Leanne reminded him that she was 5 months pregnant. Teddy wondered how that was possible, since a whole year had passed in one night. This fact was confirmed by joint photos of the newlyweds on the phone. Teddy thought he was having a nervous breakdown. Leanne tried to calm him down, but he still wasn't able to comprehend what was happening. Teddy admitted that he was scared. When he fell asleep again, he soon woke up in different clothes and in a different environment. Leanne was no longer pregnant. At first Teddy thought it was all just a nightmare, but then he heard the baby crying. There were pictures of the family hanging on the refrigerator. It turned out that Teddy had a daughter. Of course, he didn't know her name, so he suggested that the wife say the daughter's name out loud at the same time. Turns out the little girl's name is Tallulah. Teddy doesn't like that name. He does not understand at all how it happened. Leanne noticed the husband's nervous demeanor. He tried to explain to her what was going on, and claimed that he had traveled through time. Leanne remembered that on their last wedding anniversary, the husband had been acting strangely, too. The woman is upset that her husband has forgotten their wedding day for the 2nd year in a row. In a panic, Teddy called Sam and asked him to come to his house on the exact same day next year. He also asked the friend to bring him any gift for his 3-year wedding anniversary. Of course, Sam was perplexed by this request, but promised to do so. Another year passed. As promised, Sam arrived. Teddy was very happy to see his best friend, who had changed a little in those 2 years. Teddy honestly told Sam that he had a whole year going by in a few minutes, his life going by too fast. Sam was unable to digest this information, but he advised the friend to try to solve all his family problems in those few minutes. It might be the only way to break this vicious cycle. Teddy asked Sam to come again a year later. A friend gave him the promised gift, but he got it all mixed up and bought a gift for the baby, not for Leanne. When Teddy returned to the house, he found that Tallulah had grown up. He was upset to learn that Daddy was not her first or second word, but her 12th. The wife reminded him that he often disappears at work and devotes little time to his family. Leanne is convinced that their marriage is bursting at the seams because Teddy isn't making his dream of becoming a photographer, but instead is wasting his time working a job he hates. According to Leanne, they were much happier when he made half as much money. Leanne also thinks that if the husband had spent time on really worthwhile things, he would have had success and become a high-paying photographer in those 3 years. Another year passed. Teddy realized he was alone in the house, the wife and daughter not here. The friend came to see him, as promised. Teddy learned from the friend that Leanne had left him because they were unhappily married. When Teddy looked at himself in a mirror, he realized with horror that he had grown old. Teddy intended to make things right and called Leanne, saying that he had prepared a gift for their anniversary. But Leanne was unenthusiastic about the idea. Teddy wondered how to fix it. Before he knew it, another year had passed. The guy was surprised to realize that Becca was here too. It turned out that they had made up. Teddy was shocked by this. He didn't have time to do anything about it because Leanne knocked on the door. After kicking Becca out the back door, Teddy let Leanne in. She said she missed him and wanted to be with him again. However, when Leanne saw Becca's things, she understood. After slapping the husband, the woman said she would file for divorce. They had not lived together for quite some time, and it was time to put an end to their relationship. Becca left too, saying it was over between them. When a year passed, however, it turned out that Teddy and Becca had moved in together. After calling Sam and asking to see him, Teddy honestly told Becca that he loved Leanne. Becca asked him to sit down and told him that she had wasted more than a year on him. Now she really wants to return the lost time. She had no intention of staying with the indecisive Teddy any longer. He met Sam, who drove up to him in a cool car. Sam, however, did not look well. When Teddy found out the friend had cancer, he was depressed. Sam promised that he would get over the disease. Teddy also learned from Sam that he had divorced Leanne after all. Teddy paid an immediate visit to his ex-wife, who asked if he had signed the divorce papers. But Teddy wasn't going to do that. Another year went by. Teddy found himself outside Leanne's house again. She now had a boyfriend named Patrick. Also, Teddy never signed the divorce papers. Unlike Teddy, Patrick is a successful and serious guy. Leanne was also successful. Just as she had dreamed, she wrote a book that became popular. Teddy was very upset when his ex-wife confessed that she had lost the engagement ring made by his father. When Leanne left, Teddy asked Patrick, who is a psychiatrist, a professional question. What should he do if his whole life is whizzing by? Unable to stand it, Teddy cried, and Patrick told him that if he loved Leanne, he had to let her go and change his outlook on life. Teddy signed the divorce papers after all. Today could have been their 6th wedding anniversary. Teddy was desperate and asked his ex-wife for permission to walk her dog. They went to the beach. Another year passed. Teddy was surprised to realize that he now had a beard. He found a chocolate bar with peanuts in the sand. Since Teddy is terribly allergic to nuts, he could have just eaten it and ended his life. But suddenly he was hailed by his 8-year-old daughter, whom he didn't recognize right away. The father asked his daughter to promise not to waste a second of her life and never to put things off. Teddy brought Tallulah to the home of his ex-wife, who only gets more beautiful every year. She admitted that she and Patrick were having problems, but she wouldn't go into details. It's been a year again. Now Teddy wears glasses, but he certainly doesn't have time to worry about it. Not knowing what to do, Teddy decided to call Sam, but the subscriber was unavailable. Teddy realized the worst had happened. Joint photos and videos on the phone confirmed this. Teddy went to the friend's grave. The realization that they would never see each other again hurt him. Suddenly Teddy saw the very stranger who had given him the special gift for his wedding. Teddy thought it was not a gift, but a curse. The woman told him her story. She too had once received such a gift. It was only because of this that she realized how valuable every moment of her life is. With a hint of how to rectify it, the woman asked Teddy to plant a flower here. Exactly 1 year later, Teddy saw her grave on this place. Realizing what he had to do, Teddy went to Leanne's house and asked if she still had some of the wedding gifts. Teddy learned that Leanne and Patrick were no longer together. He left because he thought she still loved her ex-husband. It had been 10 years since their wedding. Teddy asked Leanne to remember the best moments between them. Leanne remembered it with a smile. Turns out there had been a lot of good things between them. The gift had "Do not open for 10 years" written on it. There is a tradition that on the 10th wedding anniversary, a husband and wife should give each other something tinny. Leanne opened the jar and was surprised to see her wedding ring there. Leanne doesn't understand how this is possible, since she lost the ring on the beach. Teddy told his sweetheart that they had to be together, because the seconds they waste would never come back. Most people don't realize how fleeting life is. Teddy and Leanne kissed, remembering everything that had happened. The next moment Teddy woke up the morning after their wedding. He hugged the wife, and then immediately grabbed his laptop to plan the wedding trip, because they never had a honeymoon in the alternate reality. Teddy also called his boss and said that he intended to quit soon, because from now on he would only do his dream job. Immediately afterwards, Teddy called Sam and told him to go immediately to the doctor to have a complete checkup. He would have to do it every year from now on. Teddy knew exactly who he was going to give the special gift to now, his ex-girlfriend Becca, who was also at risk of wasting